Y'all are sleeping on the heavy bolt rifle. I agree. Let's see why they feel that way. This is just the thing every gaming community does when if something's not OP, then the players think it might as well be healing the enemy. Yeah, I mean, the heavy bolt rifle definitely needed a buff for the higher difficulties. But I do think it's really good. I think it's a really fun weapon. Highest pierce rating of any full auto bolt weapon, tied with the heavy bolter. One shots gaunts with headshots. It does, yeah. I noticed. Dude, it's so much fun. And can pierce through 6 enemies per shot if you take the 2 piercing perks, one from tac class perk and another in the weapon perk. With a fat ammo pool and mag size to boot, this thing actually just tears up hordes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. When I play Tac-Man, I like doing a little mixture of heavy bolt rifle and chainsword because gun strikes are really good. But yeah, I use the perk where after a gun strike, you just get a little bit more range damage, and it can definitely shred a horde. It is super, super good. Just had my first Ruthless mission while leveling up, since I just got it to artifact level. I don't even have the relic version yet. Got 17k damage on a Ruthless decapitation run, 650 kills. Holy cow. Did he say solo or... Either way, that's a lot of damage. It just absolutely rips through large crowds. That's not even the relic version, which is 20% stronger, can pierce one more target with the perk I'm missing, and a 25% bigger mag from the relic version and a mag size perk. Yeah, dude, they're selling it pretty well. If you want something that's aggressive, I really enjoy the weapon. Comparing it to like the plasma, sometimes the plasma, just charging it can be a tad bit annoying, but it's still like a good weapon. And it has pretty good area of effect damage. But yeah, I can see where the heavy bolt rifle, if you're like looking to just take out a horde, is definitely the weapon to pick. Those are rookie numbers compared to the plasmas and grenade launchers. Oh yeah, the grenade launcher. That's true. The grenade launcher is kind of crazy. There's nothing you can really say about that. But I think the point here is the heavy bolt rifle definitely has its spot in the game, and it's definitely really good. Grenade launcher just, you know, it shreds and it's really strong. But I don't mind using the heavy bolt rifle. I find it very, very fun. Compared to like normal weapons that isn't even relic version, that's pretty solid. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like leveling using the heavy bolt rifle, I can understand that. For the most part, though, you still want the grenade launcher. Like, some weapons are actually woefully bad, but the heavy bolt rifle, actually, like, high B tier? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to imagine what's, like, lower than the heavy bolt rifle. Like, pistols and stuff. Yeah, maybe even the burst rifle. I can imagine the burst rifle isn't stronger than the heavy bolt rifle. And speaking of, it's like the Instigator Carbine tier. Solid. I think people really underestimate the piercing stat, honestly. I can see that. I can see that. So yeah, people can definitely underestimate the heavy bolt rifle, but it's not gonna be stronger than the grenade launcher at all. It brings close to the AoE capability of a Melta. And you know what? Hold on. Let me add to that. I do think that's good, though. That gives a couple different builds, you know, to run. If you really need the grenade launcher, you can switch to that class in the middle of a mission, right? So anyway. It brings close to the AoE capability of a Melta, but with range. Substantially better single target, but at the cost of stagger and not as busted contested HP gen. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, because the Melta would do more burst damage, giving you more heals on contested. And yeah, the Melta does not have range. Dude, I honestly think that's comparable. This is a really good sell for the heavy bolt rifle. Yes, the Melta has... The Melta has bad single target DPS, don't be fooled. It takes 6 shots at 1.2 seconds per shot to kill a target. The only benefit is that it's easy to hit multiple targets. Amazing weapon, but single target DPS is some of the worst in the game. I think I need someone in the comments to confirm that. That sounds like, I don't know if that sounds right completely. 6 shots? On a majoris? I mean, okay, maybe. Okay. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you use the Melta. Oh, so apparently he edited this. Man, I really kicked up a hornet's nest by Check's clipboard saying I think a weapon isn't as bad as everyone thinks. Oh no, this was after the buff. Yeah, holy cow, I guess this was a controversial post. Downvote me all you want. I haven't said anything factually incorrect here. Here's a screenshot of my second Ruthless difficulty mission with an artifact quality HBR. Even beat the heavy bolter heavy player. I mean, fair, dude. This dude seems like he's cooking with the heavy bolt rifle. I like it. But yeah, let's take a look at that photo. And look, he has the helmet too, so he did the lethal. So he's a good player. That we can't deny that. This dude definitely knows what he's doing. 469 melee damage. Oh, a fair amount of melee damage as well. Tactical, definitely want to switch. You know, keep it up. Like keep switching up. 20k range damage. He beat the heavy bolter player by 8 damage. My issue with Horde clearing weapons is that even on Ruthless, you can kill majoris with your bolt pistol and chainsword almost as quickly and effective. Yeah, but why though? Like why? I can kill the majoris with the heavy bolt rifle and the chainsword. You know, I don't need to switch the bolt pistol for the chainsword or the bolt pistol for the heavy bolt rifle. There's no Horde big enough to justify using auto or heavy bolt rifles. I disagree. And even if there's not by a measurement standpoint, I still would rather use the heavy bolt rifle just from a efficiency standpoint instead of the grenade launcher. Oh, okay. There we go. I mean, yeah, that's the one argument. Stalker or plasma? Hey, shout out to the stalker. I don't know. I would still rather use a heavy bolt rifle rather than the stalker. I can imagine the stalker's good, but burst damage, I can see that doing well with contested health. But yeah, I just enjoy the heavy bolt rifle. The grenade launcher is the one thing where I'm like, oh, okay, that's just out of, yeah, grenade launcher's like S tier. Heavy bolt rifle, I would say, yeah, B+. Even putting it at B or A tier, I feel is appropriate. But yeah, either way, my point is the grenade launcher is in a league of its own. Parry makes Horde clearing trivial, so using HBR significantly limits your damage output against majoris enemies and bosses while not really adding anything in terms of utility. Okay, so yeah, right. Gun strikes do a whole lot of damage, but you still need to wait for them to either do a certain pattern of attacks so you can get the gun strike. At the very least, you can't do the gun strike if they're too far away. So it's still, like, I understand your point, and this comment got a lot of upvotes, and, you know, naturally they're not wrong. However, I do think they are underplaying. They are literally falling victim to the point of the original poster. It's just the fact that you could say you can use something else that's probably better, like the grenade launcher. It doesn't mean you absolutely have to, and in that case, that's still, you know, that doesn't mean you have to downplay a weapon because you can't get off the meta. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I kind of just disagree to this comment on a fundamental point. Like, what if I'm like, oh, okay, I don't really feel like doing gun strikes? Like, what are you gonna say to that? I'm gonna throw grenades and stuff, but like, I want to keep my distance. Okay. Grenade launcher, obviously, really strong, but for the most part, that's the only thing they absolutely have that's, like, unquestionable in this comment. The problem is that the majoris with a block stance soak up your ammo, and you deal little to no damage, and the most of the times, okay, sorry, you have to constantly dodge ranged snipers. Vines? Oh, okay, vines, yeah, okay, yeah. And pew-pew shooters to be exchanging successful blows. Okay, so apparently there is a heavy bolt rifle perk that goes through block stance. So I don't know if that's really the point. The soaking up the ammo thing, like, yeah, because you're using a lot of it, which is kind of like the benefit. So got to pick up ammo. It's similar to the heavy bolter. So, you know, maybe a tactical and a heavy team would be very ammo dependent. But for the most part, that's still a lot of persistent damage. Constantly dodge. So, okay, I guess their point is, yeah, they say this is why powerful one-shots are meta because you can relocate. Okay, the sniper, the Melta grenade launcher. I'm going to have to push back a little bit on the Melta. It does feel like the Melta is comparable. The sniper, still, like, it's literally the same argument they're making with the ammo dependency. It's like the sniper is very ammo dependent. You can get a lot of ammo for that thing, but at the same time, you also are going to get perks with the heavy bolt rifle. Grenade launcher, again, yes, it's the strongest thing in the game. Okay, the heavy bolt rifle is obviously not the strongest in the game. They all one-shot and forget, while other bolters require you to constantly shoot while focused because of your 6 spread. Well, see, that's the thing. With the heavy bolt rifle, if you shoot it for too long, you actually get less accuracy. So I would say there is a benefit to kind of doing what you can with it and then dodging and then just, restarting the fire. And not only that, you wouldn't have to reload, would you? So, I mean, eventually you will, but you do have a big mag. And then even in that case, then you still have the chainsword. I think the heavy bolt rifle is actually in a perfect spot for the tactical to deal with a situation where you need to dodge and relocate. I don't know. It feels like, yeah, I don't know. I do use this gun a lot, so I'm not really surprised that I'm going to find a comment that I'm just like, I don't know. You can kind of do that with the heavy bolt rifle. I don't know if this guy uses it a lot. The exception is heavy with its range shield, and that's why its bolter's viable. Yeah, but I also have a debuff. Like, I can debuff an entire horde and then just heavy bolt rifle them. Okay. This guy's literally trying to say the heavy bolt rifle is not viable. That's crazy. I'm seeing a lot of comments just pushing back there, and they're like, grenade launcher. And it's like, this is why the dude had to put an edit, because apparently this is very controversial. Got a lot of people hot and bothered just saying a gun's kind of good. Thing is, you don't really need a weapon that relies on ammo to fight hordes. Of course not, but it's nice to open up a fight that way, especially if there's a majoris or something like that. Chainsword goes burr, and has unlimited ammo. Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, persistent damage is good. Like, chainsword and heavy bolt rifle go really well together. The HBR horde clear is still inferior to the Melta, one-shot delete, which on top also offers great stagger potential against majoris enemies. Yeah, but again, it's not like they're the same weapon. Meltas are very close range. HBRs are, you can say they have pretty good range. Definitely compared to the Melta, they are a better ranged weapon. So the Melta with the tactical, definitely good. Definitely good. But still, the HBR does have its spot. But yeah, it's fair enough. Stuff like the Stalker is better at killing majoris and higher, but sucks against hordes, which doesn't really matter since you still have a melee option. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, the Stalker definitely seems to fit really well in that situation. I see what you mean. But still, I would just rather have the consistent damage for a horde far away. Like, honestly, do the tactical thing where you use the scan, throw a grenade, and then now you have an HBR that can hit literally everything, and they're all going to be very spread out. So you can potentially focus down a target and then also clear all the mobs around the target that you're focusing with your team. You can do all that from range, which is nice. I just started leveling the heavy bolt rifle. It feels better after the slight buff, and if the correct variants and perks are chosen, I think it has the potential to be the best bolter for tactical. Besides the grenade launcher, but I'm just talking about the base bolter. Even though I only have a green variant right now, it feels pretty solid so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what it can do in the relic tier. Yeah, good comment. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's a really good leveling weapon, I think, because you are, no matter what, you're going to be impactful because you're either going to be able to take out hordes of enemies or provide consistent targeted fire against a heavy, a big bad enemy. But yeah, I don't know. Fair enough. It is kind of funny seeing the pushback, but I do think it was easy to say that, like, okay, guys, we get it. Grenade launcher is the best. Sometimes we want a different build. But you know what? Let me know in the comments. Maybe the heavy bolt rifle needs a buff. I would be, happy to see it. Or maybe a perk buff, something like that, But yeah, I don't know. It was nice to hear the heavy bolt rifle actually getting some love, though. It's a weapon I use for a bit, and I feel like nobody talks about it. It's a very cool looking weapon, too. It's probably my favorite weapon visually, but honestly, all the weapons look cool, so I don't know. Either way, good notes here. Thanks for watching.